Happy Monday, Batman. How's it going, Amber?
It's going. New Monday, new location, as always for me.
Same. I mean, this is clearly not my apartment. I'm at an undisclosed location in Palm Coast. It's great. I feel all like I've inhabited somebody else's room. Where are you?
Yeah, your internet is still crap. I'm in the middle of the woods at the dog sitting.
Why is my internet still crappy? What is it doing now?
I don't know. It just was freezing up before we started. It's okay for now, but
okay, well, let's not jinx it. Let's not jinx it at all. Welcome to another rousing edition of the Broadway Fan Club podcast. I'm Heather, that is Amber, and we have our lovely friend Marc Bonanni coming to the stage.
Hey! Thank you guys so much for having me.
Oh my God, Marc, I'm so excited we finally made this work.
I know.
I've been on you for a good while, and then I was like, I emailed you. You're like, I didn't get it. I'm like, oh, technology. That's about right.
Yeah, it's always technology. Yeah.
I mean,
but I'm so happy to be here finally.
Do you want to? We are very happy that you can join us. Do you want to give the people your elevator pitch? Like, who are you? What do you do? Why are you here? We'll tell you why you're here. But
yeah. So I am a mega Broadway nerd, and I run the YouTube channel Broadway by Ghostlight, where I have a few different series on it, but the two big ones are the Broadway breakdowns, where I really dive into a.
They're amazing, by the way.
Thank you so much. They're definitely my proudest pieces of content on there. Where really dive into an older show, forgotten for the most part, and give people the backstory and history, but also a really detailed plot synopsis. Because some of these shows you're never going to get to see a production of, most likely.
Right.
And then the other series I do every other week is Broadway Jeopardy, where it's 26 clues, Jeopardy style. Not only the questions, but then I usually give I call them tidbits, little trivia stories afterwards. So, and it looks like we're pretty similar. I just finished episode 90, and you're at 95, right? So we're
at 95 official episodes of the Broadway Fan Club podcast, but we've had some theater show takeovers, and so we had Hannah Cruz. We did a Hannah Cruz special. So in our real number, we're at 95. So how long have you been doing your show for?
I can't remember when I started Jeopardy. I used to do it every week for a really long time.
Right.
And then I had to do it every other week. I should know when I started. It's been at least a couple years. I know I've had 2 Halloween episodes for sure.
Yeah, us too. Because we started April of 2024, which is nuts to say. But we've been doing it and we absolutely love it. And your Broadway Jeopardy has helped strengthen my friendship with Chris Levy and Ned Wilkinson, because I'll go over to their house and we will watch Broadway Jeopardy, and it is the best version of chosen family game night. And it's some deep cuts, Marc. You've got some deep cuts in there, and you come up with these off the top of your head.
I mean, sometimes, the more episodes, I've written well over 2,000 clues by now, 26 clues over 90 episodes. So I do, I love the flops. I love the obscure shows. So I really have to curb my desire to talk about shows from 1917 or something like that. But I do have to do the deeper cuts. I can only ask so many questions about My Fair Lady or Oklahoma. And besides having a fun game and, getting to show off, I think it's also about education. So exposing people to shows that they may never have even heard of. So at least they can be like, oh yeah, I think I heard about that on Broadway Jeopardy.
Chris has said Broadway Jeopardy debuted June 5th, 2024. You're welcome.
Well, thank you. Oh my God. And they have My Husband Works in This Area. One of my favorite. I have that sticker right over here, actually.
Yes. Well, Chris is actually on your, he's one of your supporters. So you actually have him on the
love Chris Levy.
Don't we all?
I'm going to brag for a little bit. do. Well, I'm gonna brag a little bit because Chris was just in the city, and he did like a whirlwind. He saw Lost Boys, he saw Schmigadoon, he saw Titanic, and he was trying to shove a show in yesterday before flying back to Orlando. And he was like, "Oh, what do I do?" I was like, "Go do Every Brilliant Thing," and or like Spelling Bee, something, because he's a musicals guy. And I was like, "But Every Brilliant Thing, I think of anybody, I think you'll appreciate it." And he was like, "I'll give it a try." He went, he loved, as you do, and he made his Broadway debut because he's sitting there and the stage manager, because Chris has this illustrious, beautiful, like white beard now. He has a natural redhead. So his beard is beautiful and long, and he just looks like he has wisdom because he does, and he knows so much. But they chose him to be the professor. And so he was so excited, and then he left and just had that. Oof. You've seen the show, Mark, right?
I have not.
You haven't
seen
seen
it.
Every Brilliant Thing yet?
I was invited. I would have gotten to go for Mariska. I can never say her name correctly. I almost got to go to her like dress rehearsal. They had like an invited audience for that, but I couldn't. My wife and I couldn't go at the last minute, and I couldn't get in to see Daniel Radcliffe.
We had the press night for Dan Radcliffe. Let me tell you, it's amazing. I happened to sit in between my friend Kendra and then who walks in talking about Newsies before the show, the one and only Tommy Bracco. So I had good company around me, and I hadn't seen him in years. I was like, all right, we're going to do this. And it was just the craziest thing. Chris, I'm not giving spoilers, but you'll leave having just a wonderful feeling. And it's a tough subject to breach. But it's handled so well and delightfully so. And I guess we can, I don't want to talk about like moving on from like a happy topic to a sad topic, but the show does discuss suicide. And I do want to acknowledge, I don't want to say the elephant in the room here, but there have been a couple of people that have left the stage permanently. So the one and only Josh Cressetti passed away yesterday at the age of 44 by his own hand. So that's devastating news. If you know that name, he was in Something Rotten. He was the younger bottom brother. He was in It Should Have Been You. Such talent and such a love of life, and one of Rob McClure's best friends. So it's hitting the world hard. And then today, not necessarily known for his theater work, but for his mainstream movie, Sam Neill passed away today. So it has been a bit of a day / a week. And then we're getting hit with all sorts of wonky theater news. So do we want to get into a little bit of theater news for a little bit, kids?
Sure. I'm having some trouble sharing to the groups for some reason. It's like nothing is sharing. So this is fun.
Fine. And that's okay. So we have about 200 of them, and whatever happens, happens, and we'll have a good time with it. And if you're up for it, we'll play a little bit of Broadway Jeopardy in a little bit too, Amber.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm terrible, but like, yeah.
Mark's questions are really challenging, but Mark, I'm going to say, okay, I gushed about this before with you. I love the Broadway Brass Band, and
yes, Benny, what he does is amazing.
Just the Phantom of the Opera is like, that is my everything on my phone. Everything. Yeah. And you've done such a great job making sure that they're included. So thank you for that. But yeah, let's talk some Broadway news. Do we want to let the cat out of the bag? Ooh, was it too soon?
I'm actually ready.
Oh, Amber is in mourning.
I have a veil. And I'm wearing
now you look like matchmaker, make me.
I'm wearing my Skimble Shanks tour tee.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so I feel like Lydia Dietz. Like no one talked to me. I'm in mourning.
Don't jump off the roof. I'm not gonna say I'm not surprised.
Why do you say that?
Ticket sales have been slumping.
Yeah. Do you
and
keep
their
up with the grosses?
Yes. Prices have been shot sky high. Audience members, as they're leaving, have been encouraged by ushers. Please share to social media. Please tag us to help us stay open. I didn't see this having a long run because it's a great show. I know Amber is so obsessed, like so many are. I haven't seen it. This version. Cats was never my show. Phantom, clearly, but it's such a niche market, and it's always hard to do a transfer from off-Broadway onto Broadway with such a different iteration of a show. Even transferring a main show to a main show, look at Dead Outlaw. Dead Outlaw, Andrew Durand, incredible. They're off-Broadway success, and they transfer on Broadway and gone. So there were so many signs, and Amber, you were saying you knew before it was made public because there was so many rumors swirling, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. What do you think, Mark?
I think it's a real shame. I ask because I used to really keep up with the grosses and be really on top of it. In the last few years, I don't really look at that much anymore, or the message boards. So I was shocked when they posted, and really sad. I think I hated Cats the musical. I didn't get it. It was whatever. But this production, I don't want to say fixed it, but
no, but a lot of people have said that they act, because if you ask a Cats fan, an original Cats fan, describe the show Cats. Well, it's human-like cats that go through this, and then one dies, and then there's the pimp and the old one, and like they cannot go. Well, like you could do a Broadway breakdown for it. Like right, there's no. This person enters the room. This happens. This happens. This happens. Climax. Da 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 da. This person dies. Goodbye. But from what I've heard is that this now makes it cohesive and makes a good storytelling. Chris just thought, yes, we just talked about this, Chris. I just saw it this weekend and I wish I could go back. It gives the cats in Cats a purpose and a reason to sing. So many people seem to have the same experience. We hated the original and now we get it and love it. It's like Spring Awakening 2015. Yeah, I think there's a cult-like following to it that even Swept Away, I'll compare it to Swept Away. You see a show, it's impactful. You're like, the show is amazing. It closes and you're like, what did I just miss? Where did we go wrong? Was Broadway not ready for it? Where are we at? But go. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Mark, but go on, continue.
No, it's so interesting. I also saw Swept Away, but I had the opposite reaction to you, it seems.
You didn't enjoy Swept?
I did not. I did not enjoy
maybe it's because I know a good majority of the cast that I enjoyed it more.
I mean, I love John Gallagher Jr. I was the merch manager for American Idiot back in the day, and saw that show 50 plus. If you watch the Broadway Idiot documentary, you can see me and my wife are like, it's a second, but we're right there.
That's so exciting. I love Johnny. He's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I was not a fan of Swept Away. I had never heard of the Avett Brothers. I didn't know it was a jukebox musical until the guy next to me was singing along, and I was like, how did this guy? This is like the fourth preview. How does this person know?
Yeah, and those Avett sailors are serious fans. Holy moly! Yeah.
The physical production, beautiful. The performances. Anyway, we don't need to get into Swept Away.
That's okay.
I will go off on tangents and then completely forget what I was talking about.
Our listeners are used to it. It's great.
But Cats was transformative. This was a transformative production. And then, looking back at the Tonys, which of course it did not win, and a lot of people were upset. And rightfully, I would have awarded it to Cats if I was voting. But Ragtime was spectacular. You can't discount how spectacular. But it's
1,000%.
It's like, do you honor the show that gives a pristine, besides the original production, could not get any better production of the show, or do you award the show that transformed and it's almost a brand new piece? They're both valid.
Right.
And I think, I mean, I've been watching Drag Race since season 1, like literally since season 1.
Yes. Yeah.
And although I did I did education on ballroom, a little bit when it announced, and then I saw it off Broadway first.
Right.
But even still, I think so. Maybe I'm in my bubble a little bit about people's knowledge of at least the drag. I mean, 'cause ballroom and drag race are not the same thing, but no Drag Race, you kind of will know enough to get into that. You know what I'm saying, I think. But yeah, I was really shocked and sad, and there is some moments where you're watching it and you go, oh yeah, right, it's still cats, it's cats.
Right.
But for the most part, I think it's really a wonderful production. I brought my 11-year-old to see it, who didn't know Cats from anything, and she absolutely loved it. Although she didn't like
it's kind of a refresh, and like what Chris is saying.
That made her uncomfortable. But
okay.
I had to explain to her that lots of people in the audience did like that part.
And I also think that I saw a few comments that were really just saying like, this show is unlike anything that's ever been on Broadway before. And I think a lot of the demand and the physicality wasn't necessarily thought out. Like today's performance is canceled. Tonight's performance has been canceled because of, illness in the cast. Like it is demanding.
No, was it last night as well?
I'm not sure, but it is demanding on their bodies to be flipping and whacking and falling and flopping on the stage in the manner in which they are doing it every night. Like ballroom, like you said, if you're a fan of ballroom, it's like a one night thing. Yes, you practice and you rehearse, but you just have your one big performance you sell. Whereas these, amazing people are doing this 8 shows a week.
I can imagine.
So it's insane amount on your instrument, your body, your voice, everything.
Well, and I agree with that. It brings up, I saw somebody post this question to one of the forums. I don't remember if it was on our group or it was cross-promoted somewhere else, cross-posted. And Mark, I'd be interested in your thought on this, Amber, you as well, of course. Is Broadway becoming, and this is not my words, this was someone else's, are Broadway stars not strong enough anymore? Are we in a generation of weaker Broadway stars? And I think the answer is no. I think it takes a lot more strength to say, I need to make sure my instrument is protected. I need to make sure that I am okay, so I can continue longer. Because you had people that are look at Frankie Grande. Literally got a freaking concussion in the middle of a performance in Titanic, walked off stage and had to go on with the rest of the show. But that was their choice. But I think that the day and age that we're in now, there's more awareness of making sure that you're taking care of yourself. I don't think it makes somebody weaker. I think it takes somebody to be stronger. Perfect example, Megan Hilty having to call out with Death Becomes Her, and people were losing their shit. And, okay, great. You went to go see Death Becomes Her starring Megan Hilty, but you're going to see Death Becomes Her. You're not going to see Megan Hilty. Maybe you are, but go support the show. But then don't be mad because somebody is out sick. Don't preemptively be like, well, I'm going to get a refund if this person's out. Go enjoy the damn show. Jeremy Jordan started as a swing and you somebody that got a chance to see JJ perform. Now he's a huge Broadway star, and you're like, I saw him when he didn't even exist on the stage. So curious what your thoughts are.
Yeah, a few things in there. For the understudy, seeing an understudy and being upset about it. I have seen understudies who have gone on. Beth Level understudying in 42nd Street, and she's one of my favorite performers. And lots of people, Ariana DeBose, yes, you can absolutely see people on the precipice of stardom. But I do get, when I see a show, I want and expect to see the original cast. I expect to see the show as it was envisioned and presented to people as the show. I think, when you get into Chicago, and it's 20 million year run, yes, if the star, I guess you're paying to see because it's all star casting. If they're out, that's one thing. But like anybody else, but I do get. I think there is somewhat of a contract when you're advertising to see somebody and they're not in. I mean, I understand it. I sympathize.
Of course.
I do get being upset.
I'm the first person to openly admit I called Amber because I went to go see Sutton Foster when she had just joined Sweeney, and it was Sutton and Aaron. And I walked in, and I love my Gina Duvall. We love Gina here, but I walked in and they're like, "Oh, Sutton Foster's out and Gina Duvall's in," and I was like, "I'm gonna go get a ticket for the next show," because I didn't realize Sutton was out, and I had seen the show. We ran the group, like we knew the cast, but I came specifically for Sutton. So yeah, I 100% agree with that too. But I think it's important for people to take care of themselves.
Oh, absolutely. And I think besides people in the show must go on sort of mentality, not going away, but sort of relaxed a little bit, and people are questioning that theory more. I think it's also more difficult to be in a Broadway show now than it ever used to be. I mean, these people are rehearsing all day, doing publicity all day, doing photo shoots, doing this, doing that. And because we have to
viral videos all day long.
Yeah, because we have to have so many swings and understudies now.
Right.
There's constant put-ins, constant rehearsals, constant I mean, my wife works on she's in the wardrobe team for MJ the musical, and it's constant put-ins.
Constant. And Chris kind of asked the question, but I agree with this. Do you all think this is a byproduct of using stars to sell the show? The quote, "You'll never have a hit without a star" mentality. Stunt casting, I mean, I think that's kind of it too. You talk about Chicago. Derek Huff, this is weird. I mean, good for Derek Huff from Dancing with the Stars. Love him. He is coming into Chicago for July 20th, so in a week from today, to do the opening monologue of Chicago. He's not performing in the show. And then he's doing a talkback session at the end with Mark Ballas. But why?
Okay.
That's bizarre. Amber, you good?
Yeah.
Oh, I was
just trying to see. I'm trying to see if these things will go through on my damn phone.
Oh, fun. Love technology.
Yeah, it's real fun.
But yeah, let me see if I can pull up the article, because it was something that we got as a press release, and I was like, that's interesting. But I'm so over the stunt casting, but I understand why it's there.
Well, I think in today,
No.
I think people cut each other off all the time. I think it's also the conversation about like big IP films turned into musicals. If I'm going to spend, I mean, if I'm going to bring my wife and 2 daughters to see a Broadway show,
yes,
we're talking $500 for the evening.
Yes, unless you're doing Rush or Lottery or something else, but it's still,
and even
which
then,
you can't do it if you're for a family of 4, exactly.
Right.
Can't. I mean, I TDF, but anyway, yeah, family. It's still. Or if I'm just going with my wife, then I have to pay $150 for a babysitter.
Yeah.
And then inevitably dinner. I'm a merch whore, so I buy a bunch of merch. It's a very expensive outing. So, I mean, this doesn't apply to me. I'll see any musical anytime about anything. But if you're going to spend that kind of money and devote an entire night and plan around it, you want a little bit of assurance that you're going to enjoy it. So that's either a star you want to see, and who cares what it is. You know the property, and so it's like, okay, Legally Blonde. I love that movie. I'm probably going to enjoy the show. Right. Or really good word of mouth, but shows can't run long enough to get word of mouth if they don't have those things, usually, unlike something like Maybe Happy Ending, which is one of the rare exceptions to the rule, and thank goodness, because that show
I always talk about my experience going to see Maybe Happy Ending. I called Amber walking through Times Square. I said, I don't know what show to see. She goes, you might as well go see Maybe Happy Ending because it's going to be closing soon. And it was like, it had just opened. And I was like, all right, I'll go check it out. Let me go see what this is all about. And I got like a $66 ticket, front mez. And I was like, all right, well, it was nice knowing you. And then here it is still running.
Yeah, it's the longest show now at the Belasco.
Just
The longest
crazy.
show. Yeah.
Good for them though. It's been fascinating though. But then you look at the theaters that are sitting empty. The Hudson's going to be sitting empty soon. The Majestic is sitting empty. You know, you're now going to have, there's going to be like 8 theaters that are going to sit completely empty through the summer months.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I'm almost willing to put bets on what shows are going next. Not that I ever want to wish them ill will, but I think there are a couple of shows that, like, I hate saying it, I called Death Becomes Her closing months before they made that announcement.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see a couple, and I won't mention them, but I can see a couple of shows that are doing the same sort of stuff that I'm like, okay, any day now. And I don't want to give it a time of death.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that, you know, if you can see a show, go see a show. If you can see a tour, go see a tour. My love for Heathers the Musical came from slime tutorial. Oh my God, I'm trying to plug my computer in. Came from a slime tutorial. And I love the show so much. And I mean, Amber never got a chance to see Something Rotten in person, but I made her watch it and now she doesn't hate it. But I think it's important that we make everything accessible. But kind of full circle here back to you with Broadway Jeopardy. You're bringing light on things when you're doing your Broadway breakdowns, Broadway by Ghostlight. Like, you are shining a light on shows that didn't get that social media push. They didn't get that cult like following because of X, Y, and Z. You're bringing them back. And I think that's really important. There are shows that you'll always see a revival of, the Fantastics, you know, Ragtime, Chorus Line, the classics that'll always come back in style because people need that new old feeling. Let's see. Olivia says, for me with stunt casting, when they stunt cast, it's a good marketing and business move. And I see the bright side of it when more people see the star in the show than they will see other amazing stars in. Agreed, because it is that like dangling the carrot for you to come to the show. But then what happens when that star is not in? Then people riot and they go demanding for refunds. Or when Jordan Fisher was in Hadestown, well, our audience has heard the story before, but I was with friends and they happened to be dressed like a little bit cosplay because we were talking to some of the cast backstage, and a lady tapped my friend Kara on the shoulder and was like, I'm going to put a bad review about the showing because Jordan Fisher didn't come in stage door, and how dare, and I'm entitled to this. Just gross. It's just gross. Oh, Mary says, yes, we love learning about new to us shows on Broadway Jeopardy. Look at that.
Thanks, Mary.
Fan in the house.
Mark,
I
love bringing. Yeah, go ahead.
No, you can continue.
Oh, I do love bringing shows into the forefront and educating people, and well, I'm getting ahead. I'm making too many points in my head. I was going to say,
make all the points. We're here for it.
Back to the beginning of the channel, and even now, well, I've sort of come to grips with how niche musical theater is and musical theater history is.
Yes.
I didn't, it's hard to imagine, but and in the beginning, it's like, God, why don't I get more people watching, blah, blah, blah. And the one thing people kept recommending to me is, why don't you do a video on a show like Hamilton or something? And it's like,
too mainstream.
There's a million videos and things about Hamilton. What,
So what was the thing? What was that time in your life where you're like, ding, this is what I want to do because this is the breakdown I want to do. This is how, like, what was that driving force that got you started doing what you're doing now?
Yeah, I know. Yes. I started the channel during the pandemic, because that's people
like
did
you do
during the pandemic. But basically, I had wanted to be calling myself, I still struggle with the term musical theater historian, but that's like what I wanted my chosen path to be. And so people are like, great, what does a musical theater historian do? And it seemed to be I could either write a book, which I don't enjoy writing, and writing a book seems crazy,
yes.
or a podcast. And I wasn't, I felt like certainly at that time everyone was doing that, and it just wasn't right. I actually did a podcast pilot, but anyway, and also at the time I was really diving into and discovering my other love, which is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I was exploring that and really, I mean, if there's anything I know as much as Broadway, it's the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Love that.
So I was watching this channel called New Rock Stars. I don't know if you know, and they would break down all the trailers and all the movies, for the Easter eggs and this. And I just like, I wish there was a channel like New Rock Stars for Broadway. And I was like, well, let's sort of do that. And so that was sort of the impetus to do video.
Yeah.
I don't want to say essays, but video, whatever.
No, I mean, but that's similar to how Amber and I started, because I was running a couple of fan groups. Amber came in as one of my admins, and we're like, nobody else runs professional community groups. Nobody is doing this where they're trying to work directly with the show that they can help pipeline. It's all marketing. It's direct to consumer, but building communities. You have the fan groups that have been around for years, Wicked, Moulin Rouge, Beetlejuice, the Netherlings, etc. But it's like one group that this one person or this group of people run. And Amber and I are like, well, why don't we create the Broadway Fan Club and then have like all of our little groups and communities underneath it? Because no one's doing that. It is time consuming. It is constantly being battered. But then you get posts. We had a post the other day that was like, I met this friend and I did this, and this is what this community is all about. And thank you for letting us share in this birthday celebration. Like, it's so cool to see that. And I know you've got those raving fans too, Mark, because that's how I found out about you.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's you know, when I found my core group, it was really nice to have people who are really
you belong.
It's my, you know, I always think about the title of shows. I'd rather be 9 people's favorite thing than 100 people's 9th favorite thing.
I love that. Well, so what is your most obscure show that you've done a breakdown for, or that you are dying to do a breakdown for?
Before we move on, I just need to know, since this was vaguely addressed, your two common interests have seemed to have divulged.
Oh, no.
With one quick thing. So I do need to hear your opinions on the Spider-Man Into the Dark musical.
Turn off the dark.
Turn off the dark, yes.
Turn off the dark.
Thank you.
So,
it was amazing, and Justin Sargent was great in it.
So my wife
I need to know everything.
My wife worked on Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark.
Okay.
So I don't it's in the other room. I have one of the Spider-Man masks from Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark. It was actually Chris's mask that he fell the night he fell.
Oh no!
It's his mask and gloves from that night.
Is there blood on it?
There is no blood. No, he was fine. And then he took his Spider-Man outfit and shredded it and gave each person in the cast and crew a piece of his Spider-Man outfit at closing. So I've got all the set model pieces from it. I've got the entire cast. I've got concept art for villains that never happened. I've got so much. I've got one of the Green Goblin prosthetic masks from
That's
it.
really cool.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
The Daily Bugle.
Like, what a time on Broadway for Spider-Man Turned Off the Dark.
So I saw version 1, the Julie Taymor version, more times than I saw the later version. We had several what we called opening nights, where they would set the opening night and then they would push it back, but the party would already be paid for.
Yes.
So we kept having these opening night parties, and they were the most fun because there was no reviews or anything.
A friend of mine here in Orlando created a show, and I'm not going to divulge. I'll tell you later. Anyone listening can look it up. Pretty much covering all of the drama and bullshit.
I think I remember. I think I know the show you're talking about.
That went all the way through creating the show and all of the craziness, all of the insurance oopsies, all the Julie Taymor things, all the Lion King things, so much. But the history of Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark blew my mind. And Justin Sargent's a dear friend of mine. And like, I was so happy I got to see him. I had the Spider-Man calendars. I love it. Bouncing off the walls is still one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, there's some numbers that are, I mean.
Let me see if I can find it. Go on.
You saw version 2 then?
Yes.
Version 1 had a song that is one of those moments that are so, for certainly a flop lover like me, where you're watching it and it's like the producer's movie where you're just like, this is legendarily bad. It was called Deeply Furious, where it was all about shoes, and they were called Arachne was the goddess who is a bad guy in the first version and not in the second version, but kind of anyway. She had all these, they're called Furies, and they had all these legs with these high heels, and my wife used to be the person who had to like attach the legs onto the people.
Oh my God.
Like the hustle legs on, yeah.
Yeah. God, I wanted one of those pairs of legs when they threw them out. Yeah.
But yeah, like what beautiful chaos.
But it was so much more interesting version 1 for all its messiness. And now granted, I was not a Marvel person at that point, so like the bastardization of the origin story and changing things didn't bother me at all. Maybe it would now, maybe, but like I understand it more, but like that didn't bother me. And it was so much more interesting than the second version, which was basically the original Raimi movie on stage. That's basically what it was. But like in the original version, the Green Goblin dies at the end of Act 1, and you're like,
what?
Where do we go from here? This is so interesting.
Right.
And
I did find Bouncing Off the Walls version 1 with Reeve. I'm going to play it so we can all enjoy this, because why the hell not? Yes, that's exactly right, Chris. This sounds like Kiss of the Spider-Woman at SUNY Purchase when Act 2 opened with a number we called Hot Sweaty Gay, nothing like a name. Yes, all right, stand by, because this, let's just all enjoy this together. Amber, I'm glad you brought it up, but I don't ever think of like Spider-Man being really heavy in the MCU, like movie-wise, because technically he was a Sony bitch for so long.
Well, but Tom Holland's is all 4 of them are MCU.
Oh yeah. I'm okay with that. All right, stand by, everybody, because why not?
And plus, like it's not every day you have a superhero musical.
That's fair.
No.
All right, can we see this? Okay, here we go, everybody. Enjoy Reeve Bouncing Off the Walls.
Yeah, all these people below got cut.
Oh yeah.
In version 2.
But like,
I told you, beautiful chaos.
the set design was so cool, but it's freaking Reeve. Like, like the athleticism of this cast. Impeccable. Singing upside down.
Right? Like a musical fun house.
I won't sit there anymore.
Amazing. There was a number where he had to run on a treadmill, like for the whole number, running on a treadmill.
It's crazy.
God, there was this terrible number, Bullying by Numbers. It was, it was a time.
It was a time.
That was my wife's first show working on Broadway in the wardrobe department.
What a hell of a way to start off her career.
Whew.
What a hell of a way. All right. Well, do you want to just jump into some Jeopardy? Because the show's off the wall.
Just like Reeve.
Just like Reeve.
Love our Reeve. All right. Shall we?
Let's
do you want to? What are you feeling, Mark? You're our guest.
I mean, sure, if that sounds fun to people, yeah. I mean, I pulled a category from a past episode and just Did the category?
I will say I am having a difficult time sharing live to places. So if lots of people are not answering, it's because nothing is going through. So
honestly, I think it's just fun to watch a snippet as per we do. And then maybe one of these days we will have Mark create an official, like, the Broadway Fan Club category or show. And
I have done personalized episodes for people before.
See?
So.
Fun.
I mean, we only have 9.2 million followers, Mark. So maybe.
I just had 10,000 subscribers, and that was amazing. But 9 million?
Yeah, but they're all, the majority of them are on Facebook. So we need them to go over to our YouTube because then, they can see us all the time. And then we need them to download episodes on the Broadway Podcast Network, because why not?
There you go.
Let's play a little bit of this show, shall we? I can't talk.
I wish I had a buzzer.
Yeah, you only get 5 seconds to answer. So
because it's not, when you do it, how long does it make? Let's go over the schematics and logistics. So when you create an episode, how long does it take you to rate all the questions or answers?
Once I come up with a category, I can usually come up with the clues pretty quickly.
Okay.
I would say it takes maybe a day, 2 days to fully write an episode.
Okay. And now, do you do this full time, or are you doing other things as well?
No, I was a stay-at-home dad since my oldest daughter was born, but she's 11 now, so it's been a long time. But
yeah, she's the one that didn't like rum tum tuckers.
Yeah, or at least she claimed to. I don't know, but
she's 11. I promise.
She's.
We still have cooties at that point.
Yeah.
Take her to Lost Boys. The story might change.
I did see her. She did see Lost Boys with me. I did take her to Lost. She loved it.
I mean, I think Lost Boys and Juliet are like the shows for.
She loved and Juliet too. Yeah. Her first musical was Mean Girls at the age of 4.
Oh, okay. Did she wear pink?
She does wear pink. She actually just got cast in her middle school's production of Mean Girls Junior, and she's playing Katie.
Yes! Oh, I love this.
Which she had to have 3 callbacks.
Full circle moment.
3 callbacks.
3 callbacks?
She goes to a performing arts middle school, so it's like it's a big deal that she got
3
callbacks plus the initial audition. Yeah.
What's her name?
Lily.
Yay, Lily! Good job, Lily.
We're very, very proud. She's in California right now in a production of Mary Poppins, which we're going to go out next week to see. So,
speaking of Mary Poppins, before we get this video showing, I learned that Tracy Ellis Ross has named the dog in Every Brilliant Thing Mary Poppins. So every actor that portrays the characters in Every Brilliant Thing get to name the dog. So for Dan Radcliffe, it was Indiana Bones. And I don't know who Mariska had, what her dog's name was, but Tracy Ellis Ross's dog is Mary Poppins. So there's that.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Oh, God.
Guardians.
Oh, you know what news? I'm so sorry that I feel like I have to mention before, just because it's like 3 years in the making. Tommy Tour.
We didn't talk about the Tommy Tour, the Who's Tommy Tour.
I enjoyed the revival. It's a weird
People
show.
are really, really excited. Like it is.
Mark, did you say it's a weird show?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah. It is. And the direction of this version is like, what is it? Is like very unique. It's like a very interesting portrayal. And people have been like, it's been literal years of people saying like, when will we hear about the Tommy Tour?
Yeah.
The time has come. The Tommy Tour is happening.
For me, Lorin Lataro, the choreographer, was the star of Revival.
We are fans. Yeah.
I got to work with her on Joy. Which was
I saw Joy.
It was a show that I
went on. I did that opening when the box office opened. We got like $19 tickets. I was there.
I was there for the press night. It was very interesting.
Yes. And she brought a mop home on a plane.
My wife just opened that mop and used it. She thought I'd been saving it this whole time because I have a mop.
Let me tell you something. Amber's not kidding. I took this mop in pristine condition all the way through Manhattan. I got it approved to take onto a plane back to Orlando. Got it home. I don't even think, Amber, I don't think I told you this. I shit you not, ladies and gentlemen. When I moved to my new apartment in May, I went to go get my dad water or something because my dad had come out to help. I come back. He goes, I just mopped your bathroom. And I was like, with what? I went nuclear. He took, when I tell you, okay, so for anyone that does not know, so they had the mop, the official mop of joy.
Miracle mop.
And the miracle mop, but it was wrapped in plastic cellophane, as it is. Mm-hmm. And it had a card that said, I think mine was like, I went to Joy and all I got was this mop or something silly. Legitimate, like, bow and everything. My dad opened up my mop and used it in the bathroom. And I lost my mind. And I'm just like, because that was the first official show that I worked with.
And you went through so much. I called when I knew you were seeing the show. I was like, I didn't even have to. I was like, she's coming home with a mop. Like, I like wanted to type it out before the show.
Well, you remember how I got it? We have Mop Daddy.
You like Brendan took Mack. It.
Brendan Mack gave it to me.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was like, someone else got it. And you were like, I wanted the mop. And they were like, here.
No, Brenda didn't want it. That's how we became friends. So for anyone that didn't see Joy, it's the story of, it's very QVC based off the Miracle Mop. It's crazy, but there's an actual scene where they're running through and trying to sell the mop to people. And so they'll actually give you like a stunt mop. And then at the end, you get to trade it in for an actual mop. I was pissed. So your wife used yours?
Yes, with my permission.
Oh, okay.
I would have had to have kept it in pristine condition if it said Joy on it somewhere.
Somewhere besides just the card.
Yeah, I can't deal with, like, I love stuffed animals from Broadway shows.
Yes.
But nowadays they're just stuffed animals with a tag on it that can come off, which no, ma'am.
Okay.
That's not, you're not going to get my $70 billion for this stuffed bear.
Yes, okay, but here's the thing. Pudgy from Boop, it's very much pudgy.
Very much pudgy. That was almost the exception.
And then, oh my God, so you've got, my brain just went completely blank. Stranger Things cat. Are you opening up your closet of plush? Yeah, you're talking, yeah, just the bandana.
Diana the musical corgi.
Yeah.
But at least the bandana is better than...
Yeah. Oh my God. Why can't I think of the name of the dead cat from Stranger Things?
Prancer.
I was going to say reindeer. Prancer. I mean, it is just a squished cat.
Oh my God.
I like it because it's like a fidget
I was fourth row orchestra for that
toy.
show, and I was making fun of my wife before. I was like, "Don't you scream and embarrass me!" Blah blah blah. When that cat did its thing, I screamed so loud. I was horribly embarrassed.
Did you scream at the rats in the lab?
I don't think so.
Okay, because it's so quick.
Yeah.
Maybe. I can't remember. That was a fun show, though. I'm nervous for Paranormal Activity. Because I don't do horror movies, but I'll see the play.
Oh, yeah, Larry's actually on the production team for Paranormal Activity. My mentor.
I'm a big baby. I'm a huge baby.
Paranormal Activity is one of my favorite horror movies because I don't get scared in horror movies, but that one gives me the creeps. I am so excited for Paranormal Activity, and it's coming out right before spooky season, so why not?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. I'm excited.
All right, shall we get to this video?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think the category is Pistol Packin' Mamas, which is, well, I think I explained it in the video. I'll shut up.
No, I mean, you can give us a precursor.
Well, it's just women from musicals who deal with guns or talk about guns.
So a chick that carries a loaded weapon. Cool. Stand by.
Yeah.
And if you're in our comment section live, you're more than welcome to answer. And if you're playing along at home, post, still answer because it's fun. We're going to sit and we're probably going to talk through the categories and we'll see. We'll just see where it goes. It's just an experiment. But we want to show off what Marc can do because this is every other Friday. We'll make sure you guys see his YouTube and that way you can play along at home as well. Stand by. Please stand by. Pistol Packin' Mamas. We love this. Here we go. Let me unmute so we can hear your voice.
Pistol Packin' Mamas. Here we're looking at some female characters who utilize a gun in their respective shows. Taking aim at the Pistol Packin' Mamas category, your next $200 clue is Lawyer Billy Flynn claims Roxy Hart and her lover both reached for the gun in this beloved musical. What is Chicago?
Yeah.
Well, except for the song that of a ventriloquist and his dummy was always there. If you listen to the early demos for Chicago performed by John Kander and Fred Ed themselves, you'll hear a very different version of We Both Reached for the Gun.
What about Fred Casely, Mr. Hart? Well, I saw him coming toward me. I was much too afraid to run, and an awful look was in his eyes when we both reached for the gun. You had to protect yourself. Oh, yes, we both reached for the gun.
See, Mark, I love that you also educate with each answer for the most part. And also, Chris maybe says, what is Chicago?
Chicago. That's always the right answer.
According to Annie Oakley and Annie Get Your Gun, you can't get this with a gun.
All right, come on, comments section.
What is a man? The very funny show tune has been recorded
poster
many
artwork.
times by many of the artists you would assume. Doris Day, Mary Martin, Edie Gourmet, Ethel Merman, of course. But surprisingly, You Can't Get a Man with a Gun was also covered by Icelandic pop star Björk in a 1990 studio album titled Gling Glow.
Fyrst var það mjög slegin, en seinna sagði hann fegin, hvað það sést ekki sætari mig.
Returning to the scene of the crime in the Pistol Packin' Mamas category gives us the $600 clue. In Sunset Boulevard, aging movie star Norma Desmond shoots this man after he tells her he's leaving her.
I did not like the revival.
Who
is Soda
Gillis?
Scout?
We almost have a very different musical version of Sunset Boulevard. Stephen Sondheim was working on an adaptation of the movie in the early 1960s,
I just didn't like that.
along with book writer Burt
Just
Chevlock.
like all the blood.
He actually envisioned movie star Jeanette
That was
MacDonald
the least
starring
of
in
my
it and
problem.
had the show outlined and the first scene written. He later abandoned the project,
Sunset's
though, when he
never
met
my
filmmaker
favorites.
Billy Wilder, the man behind the original film
You just
version,
do
at a
so
party.
much
Wilder told
legwork and
Sondheim
so
he
much
didn't
research.
think Sunset would work as a musical and instead suggested it as an opera instead. Years later, Hal Prince acquired the rights to the story and again approached Sondheim to write the score, now with Angela Lansbury in mind to star. But because of his past encounter with Billy Wilder, Sondheim declined. Prince actually also approached Kander and Ebb, who declined to work on it as well, and Prince also asked Andrew Lloyd Webber too in the mid-1970s. Webber was obviously interested, but wouldn't work on the musical version of Sunset until the 1990s. This was after Hal Prince's option had lapsed. So
Jesus.
take your shot at the $800 clue in the Pistol Packin' Mamas category with... In West Side Story, when Maria asks how many bullets are left, she's addressing this member of the Sharks.
Such good questions, so Mark. Such good questions.
Who is Chino? Chino is Bernardo's best friend and the one
Getting
to
that
Mary's on
balance.
top
and
of that on our
kill Tony
comment
at the end
section.
of the show.
Mary
He
is
ends up
on it.
arrested in the musical's final
Christopher
moment.
Levy, it is not baby fart.
Not for you.
I'd see that production.
And
though.
you.
Holstering the Pistol Packin' Mamas category now with the $1,000 clue. The legally blind Rita Laporta wreaks havoc with a gun in this off-Broadway musical comedy.
And underappreciated show.
I think a lot
What
of people
is Lucky Stiff? Lucky Stiff is a fun, zany musical with a score by Lynn Ahrens and Stephen Flaherty, which opened off-Broadway in 1988. There is a film version of the musical from 2014, which got a very limited release and did not garner good reviews, but I enjoyed it. I think the average film goer would be a bit flummoxed by the movie, but if you're a fan of musicals, you should definitely check it out.
Very
It's
theatrical.
chock full of
the
Broadway
movie.
talent as
Yeah.
well. Jason Alexander,
Chris Levy says the
Nikki
movie
M.
meh,
James,
but the show was
Kate
great.
Shindle, Jane Howdyshell, Cheyenne Jackson, and many more.
We love our
And now
Cheyenne.
we've reached the final Jeopardy round, everyone. Time to tally up your scores and decide how much you want to wager in the category Hadestown. Yes, in the next episode, the incredible Tony-winning musical Hadestown is getting its own category. Here's your final clue. This singer-songwriter sang the part of Persephone on the original concept album of the musical before later taking over the role on Broadway for a stint in 2024.
Hadestown.
Hadestown coming soon to Apple TV.
who is Ani DeFranco. The concept album for Hadestown was released in 2010 with several different performers playing the various roles, including popular folk rock singer Ani DeFranco. As the clue stated, DeFranco made her Broadway debut in Hadestown in 2024, returning to the role of Persephone, which was originated by Amber Gray.
Yep.
Oh, and
Well,
that's it. Hey.
But I love that. Yes, Chris Levy says lesbians everywhere. Knew this one. And then Mary asked Anais Mitchell, and I have a fun story about that. I was at Broadway Con a couple of years ago, and there was like a bracelet trading group, and this one girl was so sweet. She's like, I don't have any bracelets to trade. And Amber had made a ton, because that's what we do, like our Etsy shop. Amber works her little fingers to the bone. And she's like, I don't have any bracelets to trade. I just have this like signed Hadestown playbill. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, I was going to give her a bracelet anyways, because why not? And I was like, who signed it? She goes, I don't know. Annie something. I don't know. The writer. And I was like, Anais Mitchell. Yeah, I'll give you a bracelet for that. Like, it was bent and ripped and stuff. I was like, that's cool. I love Hadestown.
Oh, me too. I saw it several times pre-Broadway when it was off-Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never seen a show work so brilliantly and get changed so much for Broadway and still work brilliantly.
I mean, I was at the 2000 show, and that was incredible in its own right. But I'm very selective with who's coming in as Orpheus for whatever reason, because I resonate with some of them, and I was like, this is believable. Some of them I'm like, not my thing, because I saw the original cast, and I know a lot, and I'm just like, it's some of them I'm like, I will go see it because I love the show, but also like I'm not going to see it just because I'm throwing out a random name like Jordan Fisher. I'm not going just because it's Jordan Fisher.
Yeah. I'm surprised David Danow, who was the original Orpheus, has not come and done the Broadway, because he was so great. I love him so much. I was thrilled when he did Oklahoma. I was hoping that would launch him into a big continuous career, which it still could, but let's get him back on stage.
Right. Well, no, all of these like old school, like needing a lot more love shows. What show do you think is like due for its revival?
The best musical winner of 1990, City of Angels. City of Angels. If the people, I want everyone involved in the Lost Boys to do City of Angels.
I mean, I'll just text Marcus. Can you please do City?
Because it's gotta be a big production, which is a problem because it's not based on, it's not a famous name. It's not a well-known property, but it's got to be a big, lavish production.
Yes.
So fun. The score is so great, and I think it would find a whole new audience. So that's definitely one.
It won 6 Tonys. It won Best Musical, Best Book of a Musical, Best Original Score.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Coleman, James Naughton was the original star with Greg Edelman. It's and Randy Graff. It's so great, and it's one of those rare Best Musical winners to not be remembered today. When I fall asleep at night, I do all from 1949 all the way, every Best Musical winner, and then every Best Actor winner in a musical, every Best Actress, every revival.
Oh my God. That's how you put yourself to sleep?
Yeah, I have it memorized all the years from the 49 for Best Musical. Amazing. 47 was the first year of the Tonys, but 49 was the first Best Musical.
I have friends that do like an Oscars rundown. So every week they cover the best Oscar from like this year to this year, and like that's their whole podcast, and it's great. No, I won't thank you, Netflix, but I used to put on Gilmore Girls and go to sleep.
Yeah,
that's what I would do.
I used to do Arrested Development back in the day. That was my show to fall asleep.
Fair enough. My ex used to watch Seinfeld fall asleep. There's nothing.
That's another one.
To Jerry Seinfeld.
Seinfeld's the best because there's no feelings. There's no thoughtful. There's no very special episodes.
No.
My ex used to watch Pirates of the Caribbean, and I would always joke but if I needed to put him to bed, I would just put that movie on, and before the boat would even come out of the fog, he would be snoring. I was easy done deal. Put you right to bed.
Oh my goodness. Well, I know that we're running out of time because you've been so generous with it tonight. I don't know, Amber, should we ask our signature questions to sign us out?
I mean, yes, but I just also want to I want to share some fun sunset trivia with you.
Go on.
Do you know about the Ron and Nancy Reagan original Sunset Boulevard drama?
No.
So apparently, the Reagans went out to see Glenn Close in Sunset when it was in LA. And he was probably president like 3 years or so after this. They're all talking to the company backstage. And he goes up to Alan Campbell and literally says, they should turn this into a movie. This would work so well as a movie. This would be a great movie. They should make this a movie. And Nancy literally had to be like, Ron, it already was a movie. Not only was it a movie, but he was the president of SAG when it came out and caused a whole union scuffle about retirement funding. When the silent actors were allowed to join SAG when it started, he made a whole kerfuffle. So then 10 minutes later, he walks up to Glenn Close and says again, this would make a great movie.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Chris Levy says, but Reagan was out in 88 and Sunset didn't open until 94.
Yeah, well, he was still alive in 94. He still came to see the show.
Right.
Yeah.
Wasn't in charge. Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah, it was 3 years after. It was after he was actively president. 3 years after he was.
Yeah, but I was gonna say that was when he was an actor. It was when in the 50s.
Right. Well, that's like when you talk about Grease being a movie and being like, well, it would probably do well on the stage, but I'm glad it's a movie, and I'm like, let me tell you a little.
Right.
Have you heard of Rosie O'Donnell?
Right.
So funny.
Oh, man.
But yes,
I've been threatening that Newsies needs to do a revival, but I agree, City of Angels. You know what I would also love to see? Wonderland. That was the reaction I was expecting, but it's true.
Wonderland. I was at closing performance of Wonderland. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't invest in it, but I'd see it. There's very few shows that I would never see again.
Fair.
I can only think of two, and I'm not.
I mean, do we as a group here, and obviously our Peanut Gallery can chime in, do we think Phantom is going to make its way back to New York outside of Masquerade?
Oh yeah, that's the rumored next occupant for the Majestic is just Phantom moving.
It's been like that since before Beaches came and went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that it needs to be renovated. Well, that's also outside the Imperial with chess. I'm like, it needs to renovate and things need to start coming back in. But the Majestic, from what I'm hearing, the Majestic is also going to get the marquee painted black. Did you hear this? And I'm very unhappy with this.
Well, they painted the whole outside of the theater black for the original production.
I know, but at the same time, when they uncovered the red for the marquee, that was incredible. But they're painting that black again. Why?
Hopefully, it'll be like when they did this with Les Mis.
Hopefully, it'll be like what?
When they did this with Les Mis, when Les Mis, the original production closed, it came back 3 years later, and it sort of did not last long. So hopefully, hopefully it'll be like that. I think Phantom has had a good run of things. Masquerade's great. We can keep Masquerade, but
Masquerade is insane, and I love it. All right, let's get you out of here. Amber, you ask your question, I'll ask my question, and then we'll push out all of Mark's social media so we can see a lot more people playing Broadway Jeopardy because it's my favorite tradition.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so if you walked into a room and little tiny Mark was in there and you got to see him again. What do you think he would be most impressed by with your life these days? What do you think would shock him the most?
What would you say to little Mark?
Yes,
like RuPaul?
exactly. I am RuPaul.
I mean, I grew up in Southern California, and nobody in my family knew theater, liked theater. It was not a thing. Well, my whole family's race car drivers. And I think it was Muppets Take Manhattan that shaped my life because I wanted to, from a very young age, move to New York and be in theater. It really dictated my entire life.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
I mean, it really did. That's one of my holy grail items. I have a massive collection of props and costumes from Broadway shows and movie musicals and Manhattan Melodies playbills, like one of my golden holy grail items that I want to have eventually.
I will find one.
Yes. It was filmed at the Biltmore Theater, which is now the Samuel J. Friedman Theater, which is Manhattan Theater. Anyway, I think my younger self would just be impressed that I'm here in New York, and I mean, I'm not a Broadway performer. I get to go to a lot of places because my wife is, but you know, there's several theaters where I can just pop backstage and walk backstage and be accepted there, and I know the backstage area, and I get to be in this space, and I think that would be really special to younger me.
I love that. I remember like my year, well, let's see, 2019 when Beetlejuice was in previews, I had friends that happened to be in the city with me at the same time, and we happened to be at the same show. It was the second preview, and they were going backstage because they knew somebody part of the production. I was like, oh, that's a thing you can do? Because I would have never thought. I'm not the autograph hound. I don't care about selfies, but I never thought about that. And I remember talking to a friend of mine, Peter Michael Marino, and I was like, I want to go backstage in a theater just once because I think that would be so cool. Like the first time I went through Museum of Broadway and I went through that entire thing, being a backstage girly, stage managing production, I'm like, this is so cool. And then I did, and I'm very happy. Amber Ardolino took me backstage to the Winter Garden when she was doing Back to the Future. And I was like, I am backstage at one of the, like, what is my life? Like, it was such a cool experience. And I've had that, and it's like when you have an experience, I think I will say it's life-changing because, and Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, New York and the Broadway world, it's just local theater. They just happen to have a hell of a lot more stages, and it's kind of a tourist trap.
Absolutely. Yep.
When you realize that Broadway is just local theater on a bigger scale, I think that changes the perspective for a lot.
Yeah. But these buildings, you know, are
gorgeous and historical.
And to me, they're temples. I mean,
yes,
they're, you know, I'm not religious, but like I'm going to use the word. They're holy places to me.
Yes.
I'd say that secularly, but yeah. So like getting through merch and different things, like getting to sit in a Broadway house by myself with literally no one else in there, lights all off, lights all on, getting on the stage. I mean, that's wild to me, and I feel very fortunate.
I am not a religious person, but I had what I can only describe as a religious experience when I went into the Disney, like the Broadway office, like in the New Am, like going in and then getting the full tour from a friend and like learning about like the catwalk and the ghosts and like the old theater that was the after hours theater. And you're like, I am surrounded by history, and you can feel that energy. And like, I agree. Amber and I, for Water for Elephants, we were the only ones in the theater during like a fight call right before opening night.
Yeah, the Imperial is great theater.
What is happening? Like, but when you break it down like that, for sure.
I have an artifact from the rooftop theater. You were just talking about the rooftop theater on top of the. So that's Ziegfeld. Florian Ziegfeld used to have what's called the Midnight Frolics up there after the Follies at the big theater, and so it was only the high spending important people who would get to go to the rooftop garden, and because they'd been at the Follies all night, he didn't want them tiring their hands by clapping too much, so he had these little mallets there where they would get the tap. So this is actually one of the Ziegfeld mallets.
I love that you have that right in front of you.
This is one of my favorite
Like
little
pull it
things.
right out.
Yeah, so it's
Mary
the
Poppins
Ziegfeld Big Night
style.
Frolic, and you know,
That's an original, and that's
this
in that
is
kind
one of
edition.
the actual knockers from the Ziegfeld
Oh,
Big
you
Night Frolic.
just love your knockers. It's great.
I'm a big knockers guy. What can I say? Not
No,
the typical Broadway fan, but you know.
No, but it when you get to hold history in your hand like that, like and our audience has heard these silly stories. Amber and I we were at Waterfall Events during Flea, and we come out, Flea, well, Broadway Flea is.
Oh yes.
You know what happens when Broadway Flea closes up? And there's just a whole bunch of trash bags filled with a whole bunch of stuff, and you're like, what? How? I have like 23 pairs of leggings from the masquerade scene of fandom, and I'm like, what do I do with these? I was talking to Jen with scenery. I was like, these are like, it's just such a cool thing to hold that history in your hand, for sure.
Yeah, and some of my most prized possessions are things that people wouldn't even care about, and that's.
What's your most prized possession?
Oh gosh, well, I love my knocker. Another one is Tony Pasteur was the father of vaudeville. He invented vaudeville as we know it, and I have a comp ticket for Tony Pasteur's theater signed by Tony Pasteur.
That's cool.
From like 1898 or something like that. A lot of those things are really special. But all my props and costumes. And my wife's very generous, and she lets me fill. Our bed headboard is part of the set of Avenue Q. I mean, it's crazy.
Okay,
That's
what part
cool.
of the set?
It's Rod and Nikki's beds.
Yes.
From the Fantasies Come True number when they're in the bed standing up. It's those two beds and their little glasses and aerial shot. Yeah, it's the actual one from the set.
I love that. Avenue Q is one of my favorites. And Christopher Levy says, hey, Peter Allen wrote a whole song about knockers.
He sure did, Peter Allen. Yeah, Legs Diamond. Yeah, Avenue Q. I actually did the first national tour of Avenue Q for a year and a half, which is I got to be really good friends with Rob McClure on that.
Love Rob. Well, were you doing merch for it, or were you?
I was the merch manager for the national tour of Avenue. Yeah, I did merch for well over a decade. I did 70 different Broadway and off-Broadway shows, but then my wife and I did tour for 3.5 years doing merch, so all over the country.
I have an Avenue Q book. I think it's in French that I got from Flea. That's furry orange.
Yes, the Orange Free book. We used to sell it. It's great.
Yep. I have it. All right, I'll ask you my question. What?
I have to ask, was Rob McClure running all the seats in the theater on the tour?
Yep. Sure was.
At that time, or?
Yep. He sure was. And you get to some of these big theaters. I mean, the Fox in St. Louis and things like that. That man ran. Yeah, he would film everything. And he had, I watched him get engaged to Maggie, his wife, at one of the theaters there. That was so special getting to know him. And then
I love that he does that. Like, what a challenge.
He's the man. Yeah, we had a really great time on that tour.
I can only imagine. All right, I'm asking you my question. And
okay.
Okay, because I've held you so long, and I don't want your wife and kids to be angry with us because we want you to come back.
Kids are in California, so I'm good.
Okay. Is there a question that you've always wanted to answer but have never been asked, and what is that answer?
Oh my gosh, is there a question I've always wanted to be asked?
Mm-hmm.
And I've never been asked, how are you so attractive? No, I don't know.
How are you so attractive?
The answer is, I think you need to check your prescription. No, I don't know. What a great question that I have no answer to. The one that popped into my head was, what's the question that James Lipton used to ask? Like, if God is real and met you at the, he ended every actor studio with.
Yes, yeah.
I've never been asked that question. If God is real, what would you like to hear him say at the pearly gates?
Do it. What is it?
Curtain starts at 8. Here's your ticket.
I love that. That's going to be your epitaph.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want to be a professional audience member. That's what I want. That's what I want to be, a professional audience
Don't
member.
say that, because then people are going to think you want to be an influencer.
Yeah. You know, there's a little part of me that tries every once in a while to like enter that sphere, but then it's like I'm not posting all the time and everything.
Get ready with me as
Yeah, come with me as I, try to crack my back for the millionth time as I make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for the kid and try to make it for a 7:00 curtain.
No, there's a difference between an influencer and, with no disrespect to the influencers that we know, not disrespect, but like Amber and I've also gotten this vibe from you. You're not like a look at me. It's look what I'm like. I want to do this for you. Like when you do your Broadway breakdowns, when you do Broadway Jeopardy, when you have these lectures, you're doing all of these things because you want to educate and continue the world of theater. You're not saying, remember me, Marc Bonanni. You're saying, remember the show from the 40s.
This is Broadway is sacred to me. And so all Broadway. And so the shows that have sort of been left behind, because people spent years of their life sometimes working on these shows. No one wants to write a bad show or a show that doesn't do well. And every show, for the most part, deserves to be remembered.
Chris says, I think influencers are the opposite of professional audience member.
I don't want to be an influencer, but you know what? I really, really, really want the swag boxes and bags and all the stuff that, like when they get their little Paddington suitcases, like that's what send me those.
Yeah.
I know I won't do anything for you.
Or just make friends that go to the road show and don't want any of the swag. I may have it in.
Give me, I want to be on the swag list so badly. That's all I want. That's why I would do influencer things.
Chris is like loving you over here. He also says, one of the best things I love about Marc is that you don't show off. No, hi, I'm Marc, and I know more about musicals than anyone else. Although you could say that.
That is very kind. I certainly don't know more about,
You do.
I do know a lot. And I have very low self-esteem, so I'm trying to be better about. Yes, I know more than the average person, I'd say, but then I know people who are just encyclopedias that like I can't even.
Okay, I don't think anyone else in the world breaks down the Tony Award and like the categories to go to sleep. That is some like.
That's just ADHD.
That's no. You're no. You're the Rain Man.
Yeah.
And Mary says, but we do love when he shows off his props and memorabilia. Yes, we love when Marc shows off his knocker. So, Well, you are always lovely and always welcome to be here, Marc.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. If you are not already following, I'm in a desk chair back in term. This is fun tonight. If you're not already following Marc on YouTube, please go to his YouTube at Broadway by Ghostlight. You can see Broadway Jeopardy every Friday night. Next one is this Friday. Did I miss a week because I'm out of town?
I just had one on Friday, so it'll be a week
and a half.
Friday. Yeah.
So, but you can see all of your previous episodes as well.
Yep.
And then you can also see the Broadway breakdowns and all sorts of crazy, incredible stuff where Marc doesn't show off how smart he is, but he is.
I have a whole series. I used to have a whole series where I showed off a prop every week and talked about it. Prop table. That's
I mean,
all there.
if you just want to start doing that on our show, you can also do that. We'll have a 5-minute highlight where you're like, this is this prop.
I've got just bins and closets of Broadway props, and I mean, I literally pulled something out of that one.
I think that we might need to create a new segment on the Broadway Fan Club.
Hey.
Yes, Chris says I loved props table.
Yay, he was the one. That's
also Broadway 101.
Yeah, some of the ones I really enjoyed, they Broadway 101, but they just didn't catch on. And not that I'm doing it for views, but
Well, luckily you can join us anytime you want, and you can have your own Marc Bonanni corner.
Awesome. There you go.
Yes, anytime. But definitely come join us. Anybody that is not following Marc, go follow Marc. And then on top of that, make sure you're following us, because that's important too, because then we can have Marc back on and you can hear both of us. You can go right to our URL for our podcast network page for Broadway Podcast Network, www.onlybroadwayfans.com. And maybe we'll make a Broadway Jeopardy bracelet. How are you feeling about that, Amber?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Maybe we'll do that. We'll have a special collab, Mark, if you're down for it, because we love
I'm
these beaded
down.
bracelets. You can
Yeah.
go to BroadwayFanClub.etsy.com and check out anything, and maybe you'll see a Broadway Jeopardy bracelet in the near future.
Heyo.
But definitely come check us out and make sure you check out Mark. And that's it. That's really it. It's keeping the magic of theater alive. And if it wasn't for people like Marc Bonanni, I don't think that people would have an avenue to learn and be excited about it. So thank you, Mark.
Oh, well, thank you. That really makes me feel real good.
Good. You're so welcome.
Yee honk.
Yee honk. But we will talk to everybody soon. We always have a saying here, Mark, and you'll appreciate this one. When Broadway's dark, we keep that ghost light burning, and we'll see you guys next week.
Right.
Isn't that the best?
Yeah. There we go.
I love it. That's why it's always great. It's always fantastic.